It's still evening. It's 11:15 p.m., 45 minutes before midnight. I will try to get this podcast done within 30 minutes. If you are living in Banff National Park or the town of Banff, most importantly the town of Banff, you're absolutely going to love this podcast. Um, this is one of a selection of episodes I'm going to be presenting since my initial video about the new moon or the full moon in Leo. Okay, full moon in Leo is 5 degrees, uh, and basically, what we're going to do here, I'm going to show you this really quick here. So I have a selection of charts here, but most importantly, I have a chart here. I was absolutely looking for something to happen, but I wasn't expecting something so close to home. And being that this chart is the way it is, I would absolutely say, in all spiritual references, the Father's absolutely talking to us. Okay, and the reason why I say this is this post right here from the town of Banff. This post right here from the town of Banff was at 7:12 p.m. local time, Wednesday, January 24th, okay? This is when they posted this, okay? And of course, I said care because my name is Walter, by the way. My name's Walter. And I'm an artist, designer kind of guy. And I've always thought about something like this actually happening. And now we're gonna actually look at this, okay? Just because the town's getting old, right? And we are constantly having to look after things. And we have to be prepared for such events. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you the chart for 7:12 p.m., which is the time that this emergency water alert. Once again, my name is Walter, and my parents thought I was going to run for mayor one day, right? And that could absolutely still happen, especially after this podcast. Okay, now I'm going to come to you. I'm going to talk to you in me as a doctor talking to a 5-year-old in the emergency ward, okay? So you could understand what the doctor's talking about. Okay? So what we have here is the moon has been transiting through Cancer, and while it does this, it's making an inconjunct stressful moment against the sun, right? Because the moon will crest in a full moon Leo at 5 degrees on the 25th of January, which is about 12 hours away, okay? So with this being so, I'm gonna highlight everything that's happening here. Now look at this chart here. See how this chart is? I'm gonna zoom up here for you. When the post actually happened, this post right here actually happened, the moon was at 27 degrees. It's waxing still. It's growing closer to that full moon stage, okay? And what is it doing? Here it is. It's in the 11th house on the cusp of the 12th house, the Neptune house. It's on the cusp. The moon being a water, home in water, right? It's at home. The moon is at home in Cancer. And this part of Cancer, what we're seeing here is the moon, at the time of this post, it's right before the moon works its way through the trade over period of Cancer and Leo into the full moon stage. And as you will see in my podcast that I had placed a couple days beforehand, the moon and the sun are in this full moon stage. Sun in Aquarius, moon in Leo, full moon stage here on January 24th. But 8 years ago, it was very close to the same degree, and there was lots of similar events happening, right? And this year it's been very. You just talked to San Diego. Thank God we're not San Diego, right? Okay, so here we go. Now let's look at this really close here, because the moon is still waxing, right? And when it does, though, all the other planets are moving as well. Okay, let me zoom out for you so we get that bird's eye view and we can understand what's going on. Because what has happened is the moon is opposing. It's moving. It's in a waxing opposition right now to Pluto at 0 degrees Aquarius. Okay, very important place to know, because if you are in an angle to this Pluto right now, if you have stuff in your natal chart in angle to this Pluto degree, this Pluto influence is going to start like having its way with your day over the years to come, right? Because Pluto will sit here, and as I will show you through a chart here, Pluto will actually move through Aquarius all the way through the next 20 odd years, okay? Now, I'm going to show you this. I'm going to show you how things work here, right? Here's the second post right here from the town, okay? So what I did is I drew the chart for this post next. Like, this is the next post that they made. And I'm going to show you how much things have moved, right? So for this post, the moon, this right here, I would just say this post right here, I didn't make a chart for, but this post right here is for the new moon Capricorn, right? This is the new moon Capricorn at 20 degrees. And here we had on the 11th, just right after the new moon, we had our first water main break. Now we are at that. Now we're at the full moon period of this Capricorn, or this Capricorn new moon, right? This is the Capricorn new moon. And now we're at the full moon period of this 14-day cycle. And as I said before, the moon will, how the moon is traveling right now, the moon will be full in Leo, okay? So when we look at what's happening on these charts from the January 11th, because you can see here, Pluto has moved 29 degrees 41 minutes, and then here Pluto is at 0 degrees 7 minutes, and it will keep on moving out. It will keep on moving out, right? And it's actually opposed my sun right now, and that's the reason why, because I'm a sun. You know, this actually full moon experience will actually highlight my sun in Leo at 2 degrees 34 minutes. And you can see where the sun is right now. It's 4 degrees, right? It's 4 degrees 34 minutes. It's only 2 degrees away from my natal sun in Leo at 2 degrees, and it's in my natal sun is in the third house of communication. And these are reasons why I'm talking to you like this today, because I'm a Leo, right? I answer to the sun. The sun is absolutely having me talk to you today, like it was his own voice. Now, listen to this, okay? Here we are. Now let's look at this chart. This is the chart we have for what we're looking at for the 25th. I believe this is for the 25th, January 25th. This is the town of Banff on the inside. January 1st, 1990, 12 a.m. is when the town became a town. Look how perfect the Father draws the line for Banff. Libra on the ascendant perfectly, right? Look at this, 0 degrees 5 minutes. You know, look at the midhaven. Look at Jupiter in the 10th house of structure and career. Is all the tourists flying here from all over the world. Look at the Chiron here. The Chiron in Cancer at 13 degrees 50 minutes perfectly conjuncts my Mercury, okay? It's a true thing. And the sun here has a Neptune here at 12 degrees. Now look at this. This is the transit below here. You're going to really see this, because this is Pluto and all of this underworld. And we have to get used to him at Banff, because Pluto is moving into the sign of disruption. It's a true thing. Aquarius is a sign of humanity, and humanity finds itself through disruption, right? We bond closer together. We're willing to make bonds when we are going through a time of disruption more than when we're going through a time of peace. This is the human nature. Now look at where the sun is, okay? The sun right now is at 4 degrees Aquarius, right? It's moving from Banff's fourth house. And then what's the fourth house? The fourth house is the house of the home, but the house of the kitchen. And here we have all this stuff going on in the fourth house. And what do we do here, folks? We're in a hospitality industry here, and we're in a tourism area. And the chart actually says this because Libra is the sign that rules the beauty and the grandeur of the rivers and lakes against the mountains, right? And then on the seventh house, we have that Libra house, and we have Aries overlap, and that's where we like to go skiing. And sometimes, if we're not right with our skiing, we could, twist our knee, and that's where we find Chiron, right? And Banff is a karmic thing this way. We suffer from our karmic injuries here, and but we come to actually restore ourselves here at a resort through this chart, right? Now look at this. I want to show you this right here, okay? I want to show you how this works right now, because we're having problems with the plumbing. My grandfather was a plumber, okay? He was a heavy-duty plumber. I saw him basically get put on some kind of government pension plan because he had, injured his disc in his back from his plumbing work, okay? And I know that my family assisted in building the Erie Canal, okay? I know this. Okay, so now I want to show you this. I want to show you this right now because these are the transits. Pluto is going to transit through Aquarius over the next 20 years. In this time, after 2030, I'm going to show you this chart. But Pluto will go past the Venus retrograde, and this is the thing right here. Banff is a very interesting town because there is a Mercury retrograde here in the fourth house, like people liking to drop their wallets in a restaurant. That's a Mercury retrograde. Mercury is a financial and trading planet, right? So in the restaurant, Mercury is dropping his wallet to impress his Venus, and there's that Venus retrograde as well. Banff has a Venus retrograde as well. Okay? Banff is a place of distraction, right? And that's that Venus retrograde. Now look at this other thing we must show you, because here we have these retrograde planets, and across from them we have a Jupiter in retrograde, and we have a Chiron in retrograde, right? It's a resort, right? There's retrogrades here, and there's a 10th house. It's a Saturn house. It's the career of travel, right? This is that Jupiter, and look at this Cancer house, right? The Cancer house overlapping the Capricorn house, the 10th house of Banff, gives us this structure that we need to have a hospitality industry. And this is the reason why. This is the reason why. See, this is the reason why the pipe has broke when it has, because the moon is moving through this house of Saturn, and Saturn is the broken bone or the broken pipe. It's a water house, right? And the structure breaks, the water main breaks, and where's the moon, right? The high noon, the full moon experience is cresting right now. These individuals working, like look at this. Look where Mars is. Mars is look at this. This is a Capricorn house right here. This is the fourth house ruled by Cancer with a Capricorn overlap. And look how the planets are moving through here. Mars is perfectly conjunct Banff Saturn, right? It shows right here. Here's Mars at 15 degrees Capricorn, and here's Banff Saturn at 15 degrees. It's only a few minutes out. As I said, the Father is absolutely communicating through us. I am a Leo. Like Leo de Janeiro. I'm no sparrow. I am the lion. I'm not denying. I'm not crying. I'm not sighing. I'm justified because I'm here to show you that Pluto will be transiting the latter fourth and fifth houses of Banff over the next 20 years. And when he catches up to our Venus retrograde, we have to be prepared for this moment. I've waited for my entire life. I mean, if you look where Banff became Banff, Pluto was over here, right? At 17 degrees with Scorpio. So when Pluto meets the node of Banff, he will square his position in Scorpio at 17 degrees. You see what I'm saying here? Because the node is 16 degrees 52 minutes. That's the node of Banff in Aquarius, okay? Here's Pluto's node, and when he gets there, he's going to be squared his location, and that's when change. Through this time period, we're really going to have to understand how to be more prepared for a time of sudden change and unpredictable change. Because this is Pluto and all of his underworld activities traveling through Banff's fifth house. Okay? This is our forecast. It's our long range forecast. These are the planets. Look, as I said before, look where Mars is right now. He's in that Capricorn house. He is passed over Neptune. You know, if we want to look at the first water main break, let's look where Mars was then. All right? The first water main break on January 11th. Let's look where Mars was then. All right? Very simple and straightforward. Here we go. We all got our thinking caps on. Let's find Mars. Okay, here's Venus. There's Ceres. There's Mercury. Here's Mars at 5 degrees Capricorn. What is Mars at 5 degrees Capricorn? Mars is absolutely conjunct Banff's Uranus, right? Fourth house, right? Fourth house. There's where Mars was on that water main break. Do we comprehend? And look where he's gone now. He's moved through this area, you know. How many days did he sit here while they fixed it? Now, the same case scenarios, and he's been passing through here. We've had that cold snap and everything. And look at the planets here. As I said, Aquarius is a very cold place, don't you know? But this valley in this area is not finished moving. Until there's no mountains above us, gravity is only working overtime in the Canadian Rockies because everything is moving downhill. And as long as things move, as long as things can move as they want to, because Mother Nature rules this place. I mean, look, it's a Capricorn house in the water, right? We come here for the lakes and everything. See all this Capricorn energy right here? And here we have this Pluto guy who rules the underworld. He's been transiting all these planets over the years, and now he's look where this Mercury retrograde is. Okay, I bet you the renovators absolutely love Banff for all the re's that there are here. Okay, Mercury retrograde, Venus retrograde, and Pluto is going to be moving across here, and then we have to look at all the aspects that's going to be happening to our planets from how, I mean, we can look at when the Saturn and Jupiter made its conjunction on December 21st, and when COVID was happening in 2019, and Jupiter was moving through and doing this conjunction thing all the way through 2019 and the 20. I mean, Saturn was back here in Capricorn, and Jupiter was there too, and you should see it, and that's when the COVID affected our hospitality district, right? And now Pluto is moving along, and he will conjunct our Venus retrograde, right? I mean, we have to be happy that these planets are no longer opposing, but you can see here, look at the Venus here. Where is the Venus? The Venus is 2 degrees. Venus will be opposing our 10th house Jupiter, right? It's a massive, the mains are a massive place, right? It's a massive amount of water. It's Jupiter. Jupiter's a massive guy. Look at the stress point, right? Look at this Venus thing happening here. Values and everything, but in this Earth place, right? That's why the main is breaking in the ground. Okay, guys? These are charts to have. Look up your natal chart. Go to this free website. You know, unless you have over 100 charts like me, I think they allow you I think they'll let you have 1,000 charts. But it's good to have your chart and place it against the town of Banff, and it will show you the hurdles and the oppositions you will have and the ease you will have in the town, because we all have a relationship with the town, all right? I understand because I have a Mercury retrograde. I have not a Mercury retrograde, but I have a Mercury in Cancer at 13 degrees, and I know that the Neptune, and I know that the Sun and the Neptune and the Venus, or not the Venus, but the Saturn is opposed by Mercury in the third house, in my second house of worth, right? I know this. I understand my job, right? I understand what I do in there, and I understand my position as an artist and an illustrator in this town just because of my relationship with the town, right? And it's also a reason why I'm being your seer, coming to you now and showing you this, because this is actually the Father talking to us. Pluto is a creep, right? Pluto is a creep. He lingers off in the darkness, and now he's hanging out in Uranus land, right? He's in Uranus land of the unexpected, right? And we should always be ready for the unexpected at Banff National Park. If I was the mayor of this town, every dwelling would be required to have a water filtration device in case such things happen, right? We're smart people. We should not freeze to death here. We should not go hungry here. We're on a World Heritage Site. We should be 100% independent. And self-sustaining here. We're too far from everybody else. We cannot experience a grid down scenario here for a very long period of time. Period, right? We should be prepared. That's why these charts are here for me to share. Thank you for joining in, and my heart has been with you tonight. And my Father is watching. He's showing us that he is watching.